All right, can you help me out with this? Does that look good? All right, yeah. Yeah, perfect. Okay. All right.
Have you ever had that before?
All right. So there's a question there. I don't want you to read it
Okay.
because I want to know the
You
answer.
want me to see it either? Okay.
All right. All right. Are you ready? So there's only one way.
I thought you were doing the real first.
This is the real.
Okay.
But I have it in notes. I have it in my head. All right. There's really only one way to get paid. Do you know which way how that is? There's only one way. You can read it.
One way?
There's only one way to get
There's
paid.
all these products and services.
One way. It's to create
Start low.
transactions.
Oh,
Create transactions. That's the only way to get paid. So if you want to get paid more, what do you have to do?
Create transactions.
Create more transactions.
Right.
So that's the only way to get paid, okay? So then to start low is to meet people lows. I want to tell you a personal story that I had an option before. I was single at this time, but I had a choice to pay my rent or to invest in my business. And if I decided to pay my rent, I wouldn't be able to invest in my business. But if I invested in my business, I would get evicted. So both times I chose to get evicted because my business always came first over like everything, because I believed in my business so much more that I would really be homeless because I believed in my business so much. By the grace of God, I was never homeless, but I took that shot. So there was a time where I had to drop $600, $1,000 on leads, or I could pay my $1,000 rent. And I said, you know what, like, I'm gonna buy an Airbnb instead for another month because I need another month right now. And I'm gonna buy leads and I'm gonna go work, because at that time I was doing sales face-to-face, person-to-person in home. So I said, I'm gonna go get an Airbnb in another city. I'm gonna go work this lead pack that I'm gonna buy in this other city right now. So I can't pay my rent because I have to go to this other city and I have to buy leads. So I decided that I was literally just going to so I got an eviction on my record. So then I got married, I still had that like eviction following me. And so so my house that I bought, I had to pay extra because of that eviction. But that was a choice that I made to go all into my business, and God still worked all that out for His good, because if I wasn't able to buy a house when I wanted to buy a house, I'd still be in Arizona today, not in Daytona Beach. So God had that eviction as part of the plan still. Even though it wasn't His will, it was part of His permissive will. So, and then another time, I got evicted twice. One was just like a character and moral flaw, but I took a major risk. This risk could have paid off, right? It was a 16-bedroom house, and I would have moved in like all of you guys. You guys would have all been on my sales team, and we did that for about 8 months. We got on a bunch of we didn't do the right things. I ended up getting evicted from that place too. But that very next day, when I'm driving back home to my mom's house, after I just bought a $1 million house, a 16-bedroom, with all my friends, and now I'm back by myself in a U-Haul driving back home. And I had a choice, like I could go live with my parents, go back to school, go back to college, or I could go be a business owner. So I just lost my multi-million-dollar mansion, and all my friends let me pack up the mansion by myself. Everyone left. And I was by myself in a mansion, packing up, putting the beds in the U-Haul, and driving back home to my mom's house. I haven't been home in 4 years. I left at 18, this was 21. And I'm like, I utterly failed, right? I'm crying pretty much the whole 8 hours from Arizona back home. I show up at my mom's house. You know what I did the very next morning? Started making cold calls. I said, I'm not gonna be at my mom's house for a week. Made some more calls. I found a friend that was going to do some solar sales, so he wasn't gonna be living in his apartment. He let me live in his apartment. And that's how Lily and I ended up getting back together, because I was in Arizona when she was in Arizona. So when I lost the frat house, what I did the very next day was I got back up and started making cold calls the very next day in my mom's house. Okay, so I say that to say, I made $7,000 last week, and I'm gonna make at least $7 this week, right? I'm averaging, $20,000 to $30,000 a month. My sales team's doing $1 to $3 million a year in sales in production. But I wanted you guys to know that it didn't just happen overnight. Right? So now the question is, how much money do you want to make in a month? Right now, how much money do you want to make in a month? 3, 2, 1.
20K?
20,000. Write that down. How much money do you want to make in a month? 20,000. Okay, 20,000 a month. All right. So now, obviously, both of your guys' offers look totally different. So if you want to make 20,000 in a month, now let's just say you want to close one deal. What's your $20,000 offer? Do you have a $20,000 offer?
I would say yeah. I will custom produce.
Write it down.
Like one thing that's worth 20K?
One thing that's worth 20K. Alright, so now you got your $20,000 offer. Now I want you to find something in the range between $400 to $1,500. So, what is that product? Now, do you have a product between, let's say, $5 and $100? Maybe like $20 product. What's that gonna be?
Yeah, I mean, if you're asking me,
Yeah,
I don't have a 20K product.
you don't have a 20K product.
Offer, no.
That's okay. You're gonna have to create enough value to get there. The only reason why someone would want to pay you 20K is because you provide enough value for them to pay you. So you have to be the person that can become that person that offers that 20K, right? So if you want to have a 20K product, you have to be the person that wants that. So what determines your value is the marketplace, right? So the marketplace determines your value. I could say like, look, I'm going to charge you $1,000 for this conversation right now. You guys would probably pay that. But if I was like, look, I'm going to have you guys like pay $100,000 right now, you guys would say, hell no. Why? Because that's not the market demand, right? So the marketplace determines your value. So I'll tell you a story about this. I started a sales coaching class. I started off at $2 a month. And then I'm like $3 a month, $4 a month, $5 a month. I was waiting to see where market demand was. I jumped it up to $70 a month and my went way down, right? So then I had to find that sweet spot. So I went to $20 a month. $20 a month was good. Then I was like, all right, well, let me go to $30 a month. $30 a month was good, but I found the sweet spot was like my sales coaching. I had like 280 people on it at one time, and it was like $27 a month. But I had 280 people on there. So it's easier to make a smaller transaction a bunch of times, because I could sell you $27 right now, not that big of a deal. I could sell you on $27, it's not that much money, right? So it's easier to sell more of that. So the $20,000 product that you have, that's gonna be only a certain caliber of person that can pay for that. There's fewer people in the world that can pay that. So that's why it's important to have a $20 to $100 offer, a $400 to $2,000 offer, and then obviously your high ticket offer, but you do have to be the person that creates that product.
Yep.
Okay. So now the only way that you're gonna get to 20,000 is by what? Transactions. So how do you create a transaction?
By building enough value.
Building enough value. So like making an offer. So
Yeah.
so that's the answer, making the offer. So you have to MMO, make more offers. It comes down to that. You have to make more offers. And like you said, you have to provide value to the marketplace. So it comes down to making more offers, but also providing value to the marketplace. So I want you to say this. It's easy to make a lot of money.
It's easy to make a lot of money.
That's just a belief. It's just easy to make a lot of money. Okay, it really just comes down to making more offers and providing value to the marketplace. That's very easy. So the only thing that you have to do is just make more offers. So you have like your $300 to $1,000 product, right? All right, pitch me right now.
Okay, so Luke, what's got you looking for health coverage at the moment?
Well, I got a wife and I've got 2 kids and I'm a 1099.
Okay, and what kind of health insurance do you have?
I don't have any health insurance
Don't
right
have
now.
anything in place at the
No, I
moment?
pay all out of pocket.
Okay, and so when you mention your family, your wife, what makes that important for you to get your health coverage?
Well, she's pregnant right now.
Okay.
So I'm gonna have to come out of pocket like $20,000 for a birth.
Right, right. Okay, and have you looked into?
Not at all.
No? Okay. So there's really only 2 ways to get coverage outside of your employer. You being self-employed, you have the private route and then you have the public route.
Okay.
Right? And so being that your wife is pregnant, the route that's gonna really cover her right away without any issues is gonna be the public.
Okay.
And so I'd find the plan, and then I'd say, hey, look, Luke, I explain the plan over you. Like this plan is this deductible. Are you familiar with deductibles? How all this works? I gauge that. I'll go over it, And then I say, hey, this plan also comes with, you know,
Don't sell the plans.
Okay.
Sell the emotion. Sell the feeling.
Okay.
All right, so I'm gonna sell your product. You're married, you have kids, right?
Well,
What's gonna happen if your wife gives birth and you don't have health insurance? What's that gonna be like for you?
I'm gonna have to come out of pocket a lot. God forbid something happens and there's a complicated birth.
What if there was an emergency?
Yeah, same. Yeah.
Same? And then you're gonna have to do what? You're gonna have to probably pay for that on a monthly reoccurring bill from the hospital, right?
Right.
That's gonna take a pretty big cut out of your paycheck. How's that gonna make you feel?
Right. Big time.
So what if we provided a feeling that would make sure you felt secure? Would that be better for you?
100%.
You wanna make sure your wife feels secure, don't you?
Absolutely.
Okay, boom. Doesn't matter the price. I wanna make sure my wife feels secure. Money, products, does this, and this, it has this rider, da 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 da. Don't sell the benefits. Sell the feeling. Sell the emotion.
Alright.
Alright, you're up.
Okay. So you're like an artist who has engaged in a conversation with me, right?
All right.
Okay. So obviously, hey, you know, you came to me to inquire about beats, mixing and mastering. First and foremost, I would say, are you where you want to be in your music career?
No,
You're not where you want to be?
of course
Okay.
not.
What do you think is the biggest thing holding you back from being where you want to be?
I probably just need to push out more music.
Okay, and you've already put out quite a bit of music. Do you feel like there's something even within the music that you've put out that's been a hindrance in you moving to where you feel like you want to be?
Yeah, it seems like I'm still running off like this middle school platform, and I need to like sound more professional.
Okay, so it sounds to me like the quality of the music that you've put out thus far hasn't been up to the standard that you're looking for. And then from here, I would probably be like, hey, do you know the benefits of locking in with a producer who will do all your producing, mixing, and mastering, and the benefit of being able to craft a sound with one individual as opposed to going to a bunch of different people? Like, have you thought about those benefits before?
No, I haven't. I just had multiple different producers.
Okay, yeah, so I would say that all of the artists that I've seen blow up, if you look at your Futures, you look at Drake, anybody, they've all blown up by crafting a sound with one specific producer, locking in and cultivating something and driving that forward as opposed to being kind of all over the place. So what's holding you back from doing that?
That's perfect. I love that. Nothing's holding me back. That was really good. So I like what you're saying. I'm going to break it down to what you just did. Okay. You found the problem. All right. So number one is the problem. What is your problem? What is the problem that you're solving? The problem. Okay. Number two is their vision. The only thing that matters when you're talking to a client is their problem and their vision. All right. So my problem was I have a bunch of different mixers and my vision's I'm not where I want to be. Right. So in your case, it was like my problem was I don't have health insurance and my wife is giving birth. I want to see her have a healthy birth and I don't have to come out of pocket a ton of money for that. Right. So then what I would then pitch them is a bigger vision, because everyone's vision is always so limited. So I pitch them a bigger vision. So let's just say, like, for him, right? Well, I see you, like, you literally at this point, like, you prophesy into their life what you see for them. So like, I literally am just like, look, this is what actually is gonna happen when your wife is giving birth and you come out of pocket and you're stress-free because your finances are taken care of because you decided to start making you got some health insurance. That's a really wise decision. You see how it's gonna help you because you're probably gonna have more kids. The kids, when they turn 2, they fall off a scooter, they fall off a bike, right? So like, I'm painting a bigger vision. So the vision was that my wife's giving birth, but the bigger vision is what's gonna happen after that birth. Now I have 3 kids. What if one of them falls off the bike, right? So then it's a bigger vision, and then I offer the solution to their problem. So that's how you create a transaction. Problem, vision, bigger vision, solution. So your problem, your vision, I give you a bigger vision, and then I give you the solution to your problem. Now that's like, I literally am closing at over 80% on all of my deals that I get on the phone with. If they have enough money in their account, I'm closing them. So now let's see here. All right, it's easy to make a lot of money. Now you need to believe that because you actually have, all right, the power to get wealth, right? All right, you have the power to get wealth. Who knows that verse? All right, find it.
Is it in Deuteronomy?
Yes, Deuteronomy 8:18. All right, now.
8:18, yeah.
Yep, read it.
But remember the Lord your God, for it is He who gives you the power to get wealth.
All right, now we all live in the supernatural life, right?
Yeah.
So have you ever seen a demon get cast out of somebody?
Yep.
But what is that? That's supernatural power, right?
Yep.
Okay, so just the same way that you can cast a demon out of somebody is the same way that I have supernatural power to get wealth. It's a superpower. It's literally a superpower. So the same way that I can command a demon to come out of this person and I'm not touching them, and Apostle's knocking somebody out in the spirit and he didn't even touch them, it's because that's a supernatural power. That's the same supernatural power that you have to get wealth. So like you're a supernatural being, you have supernatural power to cast out demons, so why don't you have supernatural power to get wealth? Like you have so much favor that you can just walk in grace and a supernatural human power to get wealth. Like it's literally a power. Like you're like, oh, strength, like you're thinking strength, like, oh, I gotta hit the gym, like I have a power to get wealth. No, like it's a supernatural power. You get the difference? Then when you just read, I have the power to get wealth, you're like, okay, I'm thinking like maybe like the Hulk or like Mr. Incredible. But no, you're like, I'm thinking like Jesus walked on water and cast out demons, and I saw that you had a spirit inside of you, supernatural word of knowledge power.
Yeah.
That's the different type of power that we have to get wealth. So now I live in that identity that not only do I have the power to cast out demons, but I have a supernatural innate ability to get wealth given to me by God. Catch that?
Yeah.
Okay. All right, now the diligent. There's a key. It says the hand of the diligent will prosper. Okay? The hand of the diligent will prosper. So I need you guys to find that verse. The hand of the diligent will prosper. It's in Proverbs.
Proverbs 10:4.
Proverbs 10:4, what is it?
It says a slack hand causes poverty, but the hand of the diligent makes rich.
The hand of the diligent makes rich. And another one, it says will prosper. Either way, it's an absolute. It's not a what if, it's not a possibly, it's not like might happen, it's a what if. It's like, it's not a what if, it's an absolute truth. The hand of the diligent will prosper. The hand of the diligent makes rich. You know in the Bible when you're seeing all, it says Jesus healed all. So if you are diligent, you will prosper.
What was it, Proverbs?
10:4.
Proverbs 10:4. The hand of the diligent will prosper. So if you're diligent, you will prosper. That's the solution. That's the math equation. Diligence equals prosperity. And we have a supernatural power plus diligence, right? So if you have the diligent, okay. Now you got to look back. Now I need you guys to take a second here when you're done. Now you have to ask yourself, really, and there's no judgment here. Now you have to literally look inside yourself and ask yourself, have I been diligent? Take a few seconds to meditate on that. Have I been diligent? With the talents that God has given me, have I been diligent?
Nope.
A lot of times the answer is no.
Can I go deeper now?
Yeah.
So I feel like my problem has been that on top of not being diligent, or maybe I have been, but I'll hop onto something else, or like I won't feel like I know my direction,
Mm-hmm.
and so I'll do this a lot.
So that comes down to like what should I be doing next? Okay, so it comes down to short-term goals and long-term goals. Long-term goals, I want to buy a house. Short-term goals, I gotta pay rent, right? So you want to do. So when I'm spending my time, I do 80% what's gonna make me the most amount of money. So I sell. Why? Because when I sell, that puts the most amount of money in my pocket. The next thing I do after selling is I do hiring. Why? Because that's not putting money in my pocket right now. That's gonna put money in my pocket 90 days from now. I gotta hire you, I gotta train you, you gotta get licensed, I gotta teach you, then you gotta close your first deal, and then I gotta get paid. That's a whole process, right? So I don't focus as much on that, but it will pay me in the future. I focus most of my intention on what is going to pay me tomorrow. And that's 80% of my focus. What can I do right now that will pay me tomorrow? That's what my question internally. 80% of my focus is on what's going to pay me tomorrow. Now the other 20% of my focus, when it comes to efficiencies, what's gonna pay me 6 months from now? So, I don't know that answer for you guys, but you guys gotta figure that out for yourself.
Yeah. What 80% of?
80%, what's gonna pay you next check. The next check that comes into your account, that's 80% of my time. Now the 20% is what's gonna pay me 6 months from now. So most of my income comes from me personally selling. But as I continue to build, train, and recruit and hire other people over time, that will make me more money. I'll focus more time on leadership. But right now, most of my money is coming from this, so I have to focus on this. But in the future, I don't even wanna sell, right? In the future, you don't wanna sell, what do you want? You wanna probably lead, train, and teach other people, have an organization and business of your own. So eventually, you are gonna be a manager or a leader or a visionary. But right now, we're still workers until you reach the next level. So that comes right on time to the next thing. There's 4 levels of wealth. This is biblical. 4 levels. Okay? So, the 4 levels. Number 1 is trading time for money, physical labor.
Number 1, trading time for money.
Trading time for money, physical labor. That means I'm only gonna make as much as I can do with my physical effort. So that means you have to get behind the mixer and you have to go mix. You're trading your time for your money.
Yep.
You gotta go get on the phones. You gotta be the one dialing. You gotta trade your time for money. Okay, level 2. Management. Now this is looking like you got a team of producers. Maybe you hire a booker. You don't like to cold call. You pay someone in Nigeria $5 an hour to book for you. You don't want to set your own appointments. You don't want to send out 50 DMs a day.
Yeah.
You find somebody on Fiverr. You pay them $5 an hour to do it. Because the only way you're going to make more offers is if you reach out to more people. So most of your time should be spent reaching out to people. But if you don't want to do that, then you can pay someone to do that for you.
That makes sense.
So if it costs $10 an hour, you pay someone else to do it.
You would say like that's a general rule, like hey, if there's this thing that you could be doing yourself, but to have someone else do it would only cost you $10 an hour, like have that person do it.
Yes.
Find someone to do it.
Find someone to do it for you. So, you get that, Remy? If it's a task that only costs $10 an hour, like you're worth more than that. If you close a deal, how much you make in an hour? 350, 500 bucks, right? Maybe 1,000.
Yeah, average 4 or 5.
So on average, you're making $400 to $500 an hour. So why are you spending time doing a $5 to $10 an hour task? Now, obviously, you guys aren't there yet, but that's where you go. That's the plan to get to be. Like,
Right.
Why am I cooking? Why am I cleaning? Why am I booking my own appointments? Why am I cold calling? If I can pay a VA to do that for me for free, for free, literally $5, $10 an hour,
Yeah.
right? And then if you really want to do it, can you make it commission based? So now, hey, if you go ahead and reach out to 30 people and one of them pays me 500 bucks, I'll give you 10%. You get 50 bucks a deal. Now you don't have to come out of pocket on a salary. So if you don't have the income potential right now, can you sell a vision enough to make somebody want to do it for free based off of commissions? So is your $20,000 offer big enough where you can make someone go do that work for you? Hey, you go find the person to pay me 20,000 and I'll pay you $4,000. Now you only make 16, but you didn't have to find the person, so you
Right.
paid someone $4,000 to do it.
Right.
You see, so that's how we talk. That's management. So that's the second level. All right, the third level is communication. Communication looks like you telling that person, like, we can take into account, like, let's say, somebody that hires like Rihanna, that person that tells them you to go here and next week you're gonna be in Russia, next week you're gonna be in Ukraine, next week you're gonna be here. That person is making a lot of money just based off of communication. They're not doing any of the work, but you book the hotel, you call the stage, you set this up. That person, that director, like this looks like a director, like someone that gets paid literally just to communicate.
It's like an A.
It's a higher level. Now, this is the one where we should all be striving to get to. This is leadership, creativity, and vision. leadership, creativity, and vision. This is level 4. Apostle Daniel, he has the vision. He's a leader and he's creative. He's operating at the highest level. Okay. Moses got vision from God to get the Israelites out of Pharaoh's land, Egypt. Moses received a vision to end the enslavement of Israel. And to build a massive country, to build Israel, to build it back up. So he received a vision from God. That's level 4. Joseph got promoted because he had a vision of protecting the grain for 7 years. So he was literally level 0, right? Like he was in jail. But then he got a vision, provided value to Pharaoh. So he got a vision and value, right? So you have to look at Joseph. He went from in the prison to second man. How did that happen? Vision and value. So Joseph got promoted because he had a vision of protecting the grain for 7 years. So he provided value, but he also had vision. So there's a saying in business, the bigger the problem you solve, the more money you make. So for me, like when I'm looking at like whose problems can I solve? Because the more problems you solve, the more money that you make. The higher level of income, like if you sell me health insurance, I could pay, $400 to like $700 a month or whatever. But if you sell someone else health insurance, it might be like a $30 to $80 plan. If you sell even a richer person, they might have a $3,000 to $5,000 health insurance plan, right? So depending on the level of the person of the problem that you're solving. So that $20,000 person, that person is a bigger person. They have a bigger problem that needs to be solved. That $5 to $50 is a smaller problem that needs to be solved. So the bigger the problem equates to more money. So what Joseph did is he solved the biggest problem for a country. Vision. He got a vision, he had a dream, and then he did value, okay? So the first thing I want you to do right now is remove all limiting beliefs. Say, I can make $500,000 in a month.
I can make $500,000 a month.
Okay? So now I'm not the best at math, but that would be how many $5,000 products would you need to sell in a month?
How many? 5?
If you have a $5,000 offer,
100.
Yeah.
okay, so you'd have to sell 100, right? So it's just numbers. So if you want to make 500,000, you need to find a $5,000 offer and you need to sell it 100 times. It's not that hard. You just figure out the numbers. So that's it. That's how you make $500,000 in a month. Is that crazy? It's not that crazy, is it?
Right.
So why are we not thinking like that? We make $500,000 in a month. It's only a $5,000 product 100 times in a month.
So what offer can I find that's 5,000? That's worth $5,000.
Or you can even look at it like 1,000. You gotta sell 500, right? Now you're thinking about like online, e-marketing, $1,000 product that you can sell 500 times. All right. So now let's be more realistic. You guys said 20,000. All right. You guys want to make 20,000. You have not because you ask not. Is that a Bible verse?
Yeah, I believe so, yeah.
All right. Let's make sure.
It is.
It is. It's got to be, right?
Yeah.
You have not because you ask not. It says you seek and you will find, right? So I'm seeking these things. Like, Lord, show me what I can do to make this amount of money. I'm seeking for 1 year, 2 years, 3 years, 4 years. It says, seek ye first the kingdom and all else will be added unto you. Lord, I'm seeking the kingdom every day. I'm serving. I'm casting out demons. I'm healing the sick. I'm praying for people. I'm seeking the kingdom first. I'm reading my scripture every single day. I'm pouring in. I'm investing, Lord. Like it says, that my desires. It says that my desires, because it says my desires will be fulfilled, right? That's another Bible verse.
Yeah.
So my desires will be fulfilled. So as long as I seek the kingdom first, and I ask and I seek, my desires will be fulfilled, right? So in the prophetic vision class, I asked a question. I was like, hey, when does it get to the point where manifestation is demonic if I'm focusing on making $100,000 in a month? Is that witchcraft? And he's like, no, that's not witchcraft. I'm putting my intention towards something that's going to push the kingdom forward. I can't be limited by like, oh, is this witchcraft? I'm afraid to make $100,000 in a month. I got to figure out how to do it. I got to focus and put my intention. I got to ask God. I got to seek and I got to find, and He will give me my heart's desires. So it's not witchcraft to want to make $100,000 in a month. We need to get that out there too.
Thanks.
Okay. So this is another key. Now, there's a difference between outreach and reaching out. So like if you're a hair salon, you have a hair salon company, you got to go, maybe talk to all your friends, neighbors, door knocking, go network market here, pass out some cards. Hey, come work at my hair salon, help my hair salon, my hair salon, my hair salon, my hair salon. Okay. But what if at that hair salon lady, she just woke up and went to her hair salon and there's 100 people outside her door every day and she didn't have to do anything? It's because what happened? She became findable.
Mm.
Okay, so this is the key. There's a difference between outreach and people reaching out. At the beginning, you're gonna have to do it a lot of outreach, right? Outreach. I have to outreach to my agents, I have to outreach to my customers, I have to outreach to my clients. It's a lot of outreach, right? You see Apostle, he does a ton of outreach. He does so much outreach. He's outreaching, right? But eventually, the church is gonna get to the place where people are reaching out. Like people are coming in from all over, they're reaching out. So he's doing outreach, he's out in the streets, but people are also reaching out, flying in from everywhere. So he understands outreach versus reaching out. Every business understands that there's outreach and reaching out. But the only way that you're going to have people reach out to you is what? If you provide enough value, but also you have to be findable, right? So now your goal is to become more findable. So you have to ask yourself, how do I become more findable?
Word of mouth.
Word of mouth, you start a personal brand, referrals,
Bigger social
media
presence.
brand. You get in it's circles of influence more. Now, this is what's going to make you the most amount of money in a long time, is if you master this part. Being findable doesn't happen overnight. Apostle wasn't findable for me until for him to be he was in ministry for 10 years before I found him.
Mm.
So that means the person that might make you the most amount of money, catch this, the person that might make you the most amount of money, a music artist, might not even be alive today. He could still be in his mom's womb right now.
Mm. That's a crazy thought, but yeah.
So how's he gonna find you? So are you setting yourself up in a way that in 20 years, when this kid is the next greatest talent, that he finds you?
Mm.
Your best agent, say you want to start a company, your best employee, that employee is going to make you $500 to $1 million a year. He might not even be alive right now. He could still be in his mother's womb. So in 10 to 15 years, when he can go get his license and he can work for you, is he going to be able to find you? So being findable is not an overnight thing. Being findable is a 10 to 20 year vision. Because you guys are going to be here until your 60s. You might not become a millionaire until your late 30s, 40s, 50s. So if you want to become a multi-millionaire, you have to plan 20 years in advance. Make it more easier for your audience to find you. Okay, now this is pretty more like so unique, right? There's certain skills that go with each industry. I have no idea how to do what you do. I do know how to do a little bit of what Remy does, but I have no idea what you do. So how can you get better at your skill set, right?
Yeah.
You got to increase your skill set. Mindset plus skill sets equals assets. Your mindset, what you believe about yourself: I'm chosen by God, I have the supernatural power to get wealth, I have a supernatural ability to walk in the supernatural favor of God. It says I am diligent, so I will prosper. My mindset plus my skill set. Am I getting better at mixing? Am I getting better at selling? Am I getting better at building? Am I getting better at communicating? Equals your assets. Can't forget diligence in there too. So there's certain skills with each industry. Certain knowledge takes time, right? For me to get good at sales, it took low-key 3 to 4 years. For you to get mixing, you've probably been mixing for how long?
Like 10 years.
Like 10 years, right? So skill sets, you have to understand that it does take time. For somebody to get really good at something, it's gonna take 1 to 5 years for somebody to get good at night. A lot of people expect to make it rich overnight, but you will see subtle breakthrough and wins over time. So you have to be able to recognize your wins. Because when people fail is because they feel like they're taking all these losses. This client hung up on me, this door slammed on me, this person said no, this beat sucks, right? You're looking at all of your losses and failures, you're not focusing on your wins.
Yeah.
So after the 10 years, do you have a trophy for yourself? Like what's your trophy?
Mm.
Like, hey, I'm gonna screenshot that, like I got a good review. Screenshot that review. Client leaves you a good review. Hey, Remy really helped me out. I needed health insurance, and because he got health insurance, my wife was able to give birth, and I only came 5,000 out of pocket instead of 20. Saved me 15 grand. Thank you, Remy. It's a trophy.
Mm.
So on your tough days, when you're like, oh my gosh, I hate these clients, I hate these people, I don't want to do this anymore, I want to quit. Now you have some trophies to remember. Because being a business owner gets hard. Okay. Now I want you to find the verse that talks about prospering as your soul prospers. Where do demons hide?
The soul, probably.
In your soul. Okay, so where does prosperity dwell?
Soul.
In your soul.
Third
What is your
John
soul?
2. Is that like mind, will, and emotion?
Your mind, your will, and your emotions. So this is where the demons hide, right? The demons hide in your mind. You believe a lie. In your will, you can't stop doing certain things because your free will is out of whack. Your emotions are tied to a demonic atmosphere. So the demons hide in your soul.
Beloved, I pray that you may prosper in all things and be in health just as your soul prospers.
So where does prosperity dwell?
Soul.
Okay, so if you want to become wealthy and prosperous in the physical, where does prosperity start?
Internal.
Internally. So if you want to become a millionaire, if you want to become the best XYZ, if you want to become the best mixer, if you want to move in supernatural power in your music, if you want to touch millions across the world, it doesn't start externally. It starts when you get the demons out of your soul and you put prosperity in there. I got the Holy Ghost and I got abundance. So you remove the external demonic forces, you remove the limiting beliefs, you remove the lies, you remove the literal physical demons out of your body, you replace it with the Holy Spirit and prosperity, because that's where your prosperity dwells. It says it right there, it dwells in your soul. So it says prosper as your soul prospers. That means your soul can prosper. So your soul is where your mind, your will, and your emotions are. So that means in your mind, you have to be wealthy. In your heart, you got to be wealthy. And in your emotions, you got to be wealthy. So I walk around knowing that I prosper in my soul because I don't have demons up in there. So what's left? Just the Holy Spirit and prosperity. So I walk around, I walk in prosperity. It's a part of my soul. Okay, and then we're moving. This is good stuff.
Good stuff, bro.
That verse is crazy. That's why my physical health, I think, has been jacked, bro.
This is crazy, bro.
Yeah,
Prosperity.
that verse is crazy.
Yeah, bro. Prosperity dwells in your soul. And I got this all in like 30 minutes, bro. This whole script I got in 30 minutes. Less than 30 minutes on a walk. So that means your mindset must prosper. It means your daily actions, your will, you choose to do, right? What you choose to do on a daily basis, your diligence, right? What you choose to do in your free will, you must choose things that will prosper you. Because your free will and your will is a part of your soul. So what are you doing daily that will help your soul prosper? This comes down to habits. What are your habits, right? Like, I like to go in the sauna. I like to work out. I like to cold plunge. Like, I do things that make me feel wealthy. That's why I moved to a golf course, because it makes me feel wealthy. Helps my soul prosper. You must have control over your mind, your will, and your emotions, so your soul can prosper. So prosperity starts in your soul before it manifests in the physical. You must already have the actions and the mindset that back the production of prosperity. So what backs the production of prosperity? You know, Apostle, he always says, what? I'm only going to give you a slap on the back if you do what? Production.
Produce, yeah.
Produce. So it comes down to, are you a producer or are you a consumer? Are you producing content or are you consuming content? That's the question. Am I producing today or have I been consuming? And I get mad at my wife a lot for this. I'm like, are you consuming today or are you producing? Like when I if you're looking for a wife, like that's something you want to look at. Like, are you a consumer or are you a producer? So prosperity obviously starts in your soul, all right? Prosperity and vision. Vision without value is dead. Faith without works is dead. Vision without value is dead. You might have a multi-million-dollar vision, but if you got no value, you can't you can't back it, it's dead. So vision without true value is dead. Faith without works is dead. Knowledge and wisdom without diligence is dead. You might be the smartest cookie in the world, you might be Elon Musk, but if you ain't diligent, it's dead. So that's why it says the hand of the diligent will prosper. So what does diligence look like? So let's look at diligence. One thing that came to me when I thought about the word diligence was the word efficiency. Am I being efficient? Working smarter, not harder. What does that look like? Delegating tasks. One of my number one favorite things to do is delegate. That's what apostle does.
Yeah.
I'm praying for this person, you do it. Keegan, I don't want to do this, you do it. Roxanne, you do it. He's got all this down, packed. Delegation. I delegate a lot of things to my wife. I delegate cleaning to my children. I delegate. Delegation is like Pharaoh. How did Pharaoh build the pyramids? I don't know if Pharaoh built the pyramids, but you get what I'm saying. Pharaoh didn't build the pyramids, he delegated it.
Right.
The only reason apostle's able to delegate things is because people are bought in on his vision. If you're not bought in on his vision, you're not going to do the task. So I'm going to ask you guys, what is going to make you the most amount of money tomorrow if you start right now?
I would say it would be reaching out to artists.
Outreaching, baby. That's the start.
Yeah.
Okay? And then eventually, you're so busy mixing, you don't have time to outreach anymore.
Right. Delegate that.
Delegate it. But we all got to do the tasks. The CEO that started the company still had to wash the floors. So that's good. What about you? What's going to make you money tomorrow? What can you delegate?
Right now, kind of in the beginning, but I can't delegate. I don't have anything. I mean, aside from like work stuff, but like time things, I can delegate. Like washing my car, I could delegate.
So you make it $500, right? A deal.
Average, yeah.
All right. If you paid a booker $5 an hour in another country that you trained, you think they could book you 2 appointments a day?
If I have enough leads, yeah.
Do you have enough leads? Okay, so that comes down to a lead.
I had to go up on a lead pack. I did this month, so stepping out of faith and doing it.
Lead pack, baby. Okay,
Yeah.
that's good. So you are buying those leads, so you feel more comfortable working them yourself.
Yeah, I mean, I'm able to work it myself.
Yeah.
At this point.
Okay. All right, that's good. Good stuff to think about, because you need to have like, all right, where am I going with this? All right, now this is interesting. All right, Christ in you, the hope of glory, according to his riches and glory. All right, so this is 2 different verses. All right, so you look up according to his riches and glory. I think that's in Corinthians. Okay, it says according to his riches and glory. You look up Christ in you, the hope of glory. According to his riches and glory, Christ in you, the hope of glory. What is it?
Philippians 4:19, but my God shall supply all your needs according to his riches and glory by Christ Jesus.
Okay, riches and glory, or riches in glory?
Riches in glory.
Riches in glory. Okay, that's power. Now what you got it? Christ in you, the hope of glory. What's that one?
This one's Colossians. One second. I'm gonna find the whole thing. Cause when I pulled it up, it only said that. You want the whole.
Just that verse that says something in you, the Christ in you, the hope of glory.
Okay, so. Alright, so it says, God wanted to make known among the Gentiles the glorious wealth of this mystery, which is Christ in you.
The wealth, read the wealth part again.
God wanted to make known among the Gentiles the glorious wealth
Glorious, wanted to make known amongst the Gentiles glorious wealth.
of this mystery, which is
Christ in you,
the
the hope of glory. All right, I love that. It's one of my favorite. That's probably my favorite verse of all time. Let's talk about what does glory look like. Now on earth, like he said today, glory is like short. It's like for a moment, right?
Yeah.
So for the Super Bowl, would you consider that a glorious moment, winning the Super Bowl? Okay.
Yeah.
All right, but we have Christ in us, the hope of glory. So we don't just live in a glorious moment of winning the Super Bowl. We walk in continuous glory all of the time because Christ is in you, the hope of glory. So you're actually living out a Super Bowl moment every single second.
Hallelujah.
Isn't that crazy?
It's nuts.
That's insane, right?
Yeah.
So like we are like walking like, oh, woe is me, like I don't want to wake up today, I want to take a nap, I got nothing to do. But you got the Christ in you, the hope of glory. And we know Tom Brady living a glorious moment. He's on the Super Bowl right now. He's just doing what? He's probably sitting back on his couch watching TV.
Mm.
He lived that moment, glorious moment, and he strived and strived and strived and strived to live in that glorious moment. So what is another glorious moment?
Outside of, like,
in the world.
sports. Yeah,
On stage,
yeah,
mixing,
I mean, winning a Grammy.
winning a Grammy.
yeah.
How long does that last?
A night.
A night?
You have the Grammys, but the
You got the
moment of
Grammy.
winning
The
it
moment of
lasts
winning, that moment of
fleeting.
glory is gone. It's fleeting.
Yeah.
But what does it say? Christ in you, the hope of glory. And what did yours say?
It said the riches, or to his riches in glory. It actually said, God shall supply all your needs according to his riches.
Supply
in
all your
glory."
needs. So your needs, right? It's like what? Like maybe $4,000 a month, right?
Yeah, not even for needs, not even, yeah.
Okay. Well, what about according to God's riches and glory?
Mm.
Billions,
Yeah,
trillions,
what I need for
unending,
his glory, yeah.
for
a lot,
unlimited,
yeah. A lot.
according to his riches in glory. And yours was Christ in you, the hope of glory. So if we think about what a glorious moment looks like, well, I'm constantly walking from glory to glory. Like that's what Apostle said. I'm walking in glory. Like there's like when I walk and I talk to somebody, I'm in my soul. I'm thinking like I carry the glory of God in me. I'm able to share this moment with you. Whether that's with a client on the phone, whether she's 79, whether she doesn't qualify, whether she can't afford it, whether this guy's gonna buy a beat from you today, or he might buy a beat from you 10 years from now. Are you planting the seed? I hired I hired a girl from high school that I haven't talked to in 7 years. Hey, I saw that you work from home. I just had my first kid. I want a new job. Can you interview me? 7 years ago.
Mm.
Are you planting enough seeds?
Mm.
What was that verse of Luke's Philippians?
4:19.
And then this, I took this right out of Apostles' book. Just like the Ark of the Covenant, as that Obed-Edom, all his house prospered. The Spirit of God that dwells in you has enough prosperity to bless an entire nation, right? The Ark of the Covenant blessed Obed-Edom's house, then it blessed the nation of Israel. So how much, if that was what carried the presence of God, how much more do we carry the presence of God? It's big enough to bless an entire nation.
Mm.
The Ark of the Covenant blessed the whole nation financially.
Mm.
But you carry God in you, so how much more should you be blessed financially?
Mm. Mm.
The Spirit of God that dwells in us has enough prosperity to bless an entire nation. Abraham was blessed, his entire generations were blessed. Solomon had enough wealth for the entire nation because of wisdom, intelligence, and diligence. Also, if you read, when Solomon was building the temple, he delegated a lot. That actually showed his delegation. He said, oh, you're going to actually do the design for the top. I'm going to get the wood and the trees from over here. You're actually going to put the golden calf in, and you're going to do the gold, and you're going to do the ribbons. If you read it, he was delegating the whole time when he was building the temple. Another crazy delegation was Moses. I don't have this one on here. But when Jethro came to talk to Moses, he's like, why are you taking all these people, it's like requests? And he's like, you should split them up, and you should have judges, and you should have them reach out to you, and only you take on the most serious cases.
Yeah.
You remember that?
Yeah, yeah.
That's a delegation. Jethro taught Moses delegation.
Crazy.
Crazy. Amen?
Amen.
Takeaways, questions, comments, concerns?
Finished?
With the regular part, yeah.